Welcome back. Welcome back to Through the Keyhole, the show that looks homewards with Lloyd Grossman, Britain's #1 household name. So let's join him right now at house number 2 as we go through the keyhole.
Well, it's very appropriate that this hall is painted the color of a double-decker bus because someone here is absolutely mad about public transport. Look at all this London transport memorabilia. Posters everywhere. Maybe they just don't own a car. This is the Trader Vic's School of Interior Decor. Everything is ideal here for sipping rum punches. They've got the obligatory pineapple ice bucket. And bottles of rum hanging on the wall. They're real sort of fun people, and they're not afraid of having a good time. They've got a wonderful collection of what used to be called junk and is now known as kitsch. Jaws, for example, has a mouthful of mermaids. They like traveling tremendously, especially to hot and sunny places. Look at all those Indonesian masks and carvings up there. They've got a slight 60s atmosphere in this room. Look at that ethnic fabric on the sofas, for example. Well, tropicality usually denotes relaxation, but not in this room, because most of this room is actually devoted to music. Guitars, a piano, all sorts of percussion instruments. I think this person might be an aspiring pop star. I say aspiring because the walls are still covered with photographs of all his idols. Or perhaps he's just a rather rambunctious person who merely likes making noise. Wow, these beaded curtains were frightfully groovy in the 60s, but nowadays you don't see them outside of rather dubious local restaurants. This kitchen is the heart of the house. It's right in the center of the building. And I think most of the family life goes on in here. So it's a very important room. Let's look in the refrigerator. My God, the world's only living bottle of ketchup. We'd better lock that away for safekeeping. I think the keynote of this room is zaniness. Everything in here is laugh-a-minute stuff. And once again, the collector's mania of this family has surfaced with an enormous collection of little knickknacks, most of them being devoted to Walt Disneyana. I wouldn't be surprised if they all walked around with yellow shoes and white gloves on. This room is incredibly different from the rest of the house. There's only one touch of zaniness, the two carved animals getting to know each other better. Otherwise, it's a very sober, restrained, rather an old person's room. Now, there's an interesting, rather professional-looking compass and a globe on the desk behind me. So maybe someone in this family is an explorer. Well, here we are at the seaside, and it's so convenient to be able to have bucket and spade holidays all through the winter months. Isn't it incredible what you can do with a little imagination and a few plastic lobsters? I see Tarzan left his carpet slippers here. This room really reflects an obsession with big jungle cats. There are lions and tigers, and indeed this whole bedroom is devoted to the jungle. There is very colorful parrots, and the wallpaper is all jungle foliage. And look at this, a great white hunter hat. So these people are people who are interested in nature, interested in wildlife, but also very imaginative people. They have quite a rich fantasy life. Let's look at the evidence. The Disneyana, the compass, the noise-making equipment. Who lives in a house like this? David, it's over to you.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Lloyd. And now, for our home and studio audience, here's whose house it is. Alan Coren is on a roll here. Over to you.
You rack your brains for a couple of madmen who live in a lost property office, don't you? I mean, I know they can't do any work at all. Their entire lives, however long they are, have been out collecting junk and laughing all the way from the junk markets of the world, and they get it home, and they laugh again, and they fall over, and they stick another parrot on the wall, and they laugh again. It really looks like an open day at Broadmoor. I mean, inmates allowed to bring their paints on Friday and do what they like. I couldn't begin... I don't know anybody like that, unless they are very... Also, they could be two VAT inspectors who are trying to convey an impression of geniality and fun.
It can be a husband and a wife, you know.
They couldn't live together. You could never find a woman, or if you're a woman, find a man who could share a home like that, because there couldn't be two people that odd, who were odd in the same way.
Sarah.
I just love it. I think it's absolutely fabulous. It's distinctive, it's bold colours, it says so much. But the key is what you've just said, that they would have, or you just said, they would have to both be in the same business. And I think they're comedians. I think they're married and they're comedians.
Well, in this case, the most well-known person is the husband that we're seeking.
Oh, well, then I'm barking up the wrong tree, because you wouldn't have said that if it's the couple that I'm thinking of. I think the key, David...
Who were you thinking of?
I was thinking it was Connolly and Stevenson.
Ah, no.
Because of the colours, you know, she always wears those colours. I think the key maybe should be, she's got a bad cough, whoever it is at the back. Are they young and that they're still collecting memorabilia, or are they middle-aged and they haven't grown up? That's the key.
Right. Well, this particular proud home owner is, in fact, roughly the same age as me, so young is the answer. Yeah.
Middle-aged and hasn't grown up.
Whichever you like. Willie.
That's really confused me now. I hadn't thought of him as being that old. Though I know you're younger than me, but I still thought of someone else. Why did I write down eccentric old kleptomaniac with toy boy?
I'm glad you did. I don't know why you did it.
What concerned me most, I thought the one essential in that house probably was the compass. So I think they're probably half blind each. I think they do a lot of groping about. And who does the dusting? I mean, I worry about these things, so I do my own, mainly. There's more stuff to pick up and flick under, isn't there? Well, you never dust, do you?
How do you know?
I know your home
know
life.
Nothing about my home life.
Totally undomestic. No, it is. It's this comedian coach driver and this kleptomaniac woman.
Is the parrot... I mean, are they really zany in comics? Is it the Python sort of generation and Bill Oddie type of people?
Bill Oddie type of person? Bill Oddie person. Bill Oddie comes through the keyhole. Yeah, pause on the old body. I think it's fair to say you are a Bill Oddie type of person, don't you?
Roughly. I'm not too sure these days. I think I must admit, seeing that and hearing what everybody said, and also watching the programme in general, it strikes me how much you ought to have couples on. Because the influence on that house, I would say, is perhaps more my wife's than my own. Right? And yes, you can find people like that to live with.
Yeah. But, I mean, what about... the Walt Disney influence, whose was that?
That's Laura. Laura's my wife, and yes, she does work in the same business. So, Sarah, you were right as well, because she's, in fact, a writer, and we write together. Sometimes we write separately. That really comes from the whole concept of the house. It's got a concept, yeah?
It's not just a house.
This is stupid. It comes from Disney World. We went to Disney World several years ago, and we liked the idea that they had all these stupid lands. You know, you have Frontierland. You must have been there.
Yes,
Frontierland and Sealand and all that sort of thing. And so we just took every room and thought, well, let's give it some sort of silly thing.
Lloyd thought that the sofa had ethnic fabric. Does it have ethnic fabric?
Please yourself, yeah. It's from John Lewis, actually. It's quite cheap. The concept
ethnic
of that
fabric
room,
department.
Yeah, of course. That one got a bit mixed up because that was meant to be, down one end was meant to be the Kid Creole room, and if you remember him, famous Kid Creole, so that was meant to have a sort of Caribbean feel to it. And the other end, he's quite right, these are sort of bits and pieces which I've collected from travelling around the world, which I've been lucky enough to do in the past few years in pursuit of birds and other wildlife.
How do you redecorate? We
don't.
We're not going to have mice this year. We're going to do...
No, we don't. Well, the key to the house, actually, it was interesting that Willie said, who dusts it? It isn't cleaned that often. No disrespect to the cleaner who occasionally comes. But it isn't clean, and the whole concept is that you really don't have to clean it. If you have a house that's that cluttered, I mean, I must admit, most of the houses I see on this make me feel so dirty, you know, because they look so clean. And ours it really is a mess. You don't have to clean a house like that. And anything that we buy, like the Hoover, for example, which was apparently a great embarrassment. The Hoover was visible in Claire's house, look at the Hoover. And we just buy Hoovers that fit in. So we've got a yellow Hoover in a kitchen which has to have yellow, black or white.
Well, I think, as Sarah said, that the fun of it all and the colours and the... And listen, if you want to change the colours, you can change the colours.
Exactly. It's when you're not allowed on television very much. You put it all into your home. That's what it is.
Well, as a souvenir, we'd love you to take the... Does it tone with the kitchen?
No, it doesn't fit anywhere.
Which room will it go in?
We'll have to redo a room now. I have an idea, actually.
Well, thank you for being with us, Bill. It's been enormous fun. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you to our panel. Thank you to young William Rushton, young Sarah Kennedy, young Alan Coren. Our thanks to Claire Francis and, of course, to Bill Oddie. That's all for now. Until the next time, goodbye for now.